So it's another beautiful sunny day, but a little change of plans. It's going to rain for the next 2 days, and I'm too far from the Santander for my liking, so I've been a little bit cheeky and I've changed the booking. I've checked out of this place 2 days earlier than I was thinking to, and I just found myself a place for tonight in Santander. So even if it is raining, tomorrow is not a big issue. I could just stay in the hotel, but if it is raining on Wednesday, the most road that I will have to do is going to be from the hotel to the ferry, rather than all the way from here to Santander in the rain. So that works better for me. I'm going to go and do some pictures of the places that I missed yesterday, and then I'm going to make my way back to Santander. Santander is better because it's a McDonald's. I'm sure there's a McDonald's there. I can have something to eat fairly cheap. Yesterday I had a pizza in here. It wasn't too expensive, it was really crap. It was like the Iceland pizza from the fucking freezer. Actually, it was quite expensive if you think about it this way, because it's like an Iceland pizza for £1 fucking 50. Cost me 11 euros. If this would be just a normal handmade pizza, it would be very cheap, reasonable price. But because it was literally a piece of shitty frozen cake. Plus the hotel that I was staying in, very nice, very clean. Apart from the bathroom needs some refurbishment, but other than that, very clean. You could eat from the floor, literally. But the problem is the bloody Wi-Fi only works in a certain position on the bed, so I could not lie down with the laptop or something. I just had to sit on the side of the bed, because otherwise the internet would not work, which is a bit annoying as well in these kind of day and age. Expect the internet to work, you need to check your emails, upload some photos, I don't know, do whatever sorts of shit. So it should be fairly standard thing these days. Like, all the places offer it, just in some places it doesn't bloody work. This time I'm booked in. It's actually cheaper than it is in here, because here it was 50 euros per night, and then I think it's 43, and it's a 4-star hotel, so I'm just hoping the internet should be spot on, that will cover the whole bloody room. It's a shame that it's going to be 2 days of rain, because quite a lot more to explore in here. I had a plan for today and tomorrow, but tomorrow got cut short a little bit. Wednesday I wasn't counting on a day, even though the ferry is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Really, I was counting it as a travel day, not really any riding day. So Wednesday I don't care, it can rain. Shame about tomorrow. And tomorrow is, I've checked the weather and I hope it's right. I hope it's not like in England that they say one thing and it's just completely different. But it says it's heavy rain all day, so I don't really fancy getting wet. I've done my fair bit of riding on this trip, so one day I might stay in the hotel. That's the whole idea anyway. So fingers crossed
all is good. Good thing is there was no any cancellation fee or anything like that. They just charged me for one night and they cancelled the other two. And I said, all well. So I'm a pretty happy bunny because of that. Because it's a long way from here to Santander. It's about 150 kilometers, I would say. And it's all down the kind of these mountain roads. Even if you want to go to the motorway is all the way by the coast. So you need to go pretty much all the way to get to the motorways. It's not exactly the same, but it's 3/4 probably of the way to Santander, because you're not cutting off in a straight line, you're just going straight and right, so it's kind of going around. So yes, you can get to the motorway, but it's quite far to get to it, and then you've got the whole motorway to do as well. So whatever happens, it's just the rain is not ideal to ride this thing. I would get properly soaked. So I'm definitely shooting off. It's such a shame because today is such a nice day. There's no clouds or anything. Like yesterday everything was cloudy, so you could not really see properly. Now you can see everything. If today and tomorrow would be like this, I would be in for a really good time, but can't have everything. Still the weather was fairly good. Never got caught in the rain yet, so I'm hoping to keep it that way. I need some petrol as well. Yeah, but I'm quite happy that I could change the booking. Otherwise I would probably have to stay there and get wet on the way. And I don't really have any. Clothes are probably alright because they're waterproof, kind of. But I don't have any proper waterproof boots. Just got the sports bike boots. They're alright for a little shower or two, but not for a whole day of heavy rain. Plastic bags over them would do, but I don't really want to go through it. Plus it's not the problem of getting wet, it's the problem later with the wet clothes. You go on the ferry and everything is dripping wet, and what do you do with it? It's one very beautiful place. The only thing that is a little annoying is the animals for the fifth or sixth time to this day. Well, it was my fault. I was doing way too quickly for this village anyway. So yeah, what I was saying, I totally forgot. Doesn't matter. Oh yes, I remember. I was just going to say the only downside of this place is very beautiful, and the places to stay are alright. It's nothing to complain about. There was actually a couple of downsides. First of all, Spanish kind of hotel. Don't know. It's hard to call it a hotel. It is like a hotel. You've got your own room and a bathroom, but it's more like a private apartment. So it's not really a full-blown hotel, if you get what I mean. The breakfast there is absolutely shit. They just give you a couple or 3 pieces of bread, some butter, marmalade, orange juice and a coffee. And I think in this one that was included in the price, so it's not too bad. But the one that I stayed the night before, I had to pay for it €5. It's a fucking joke. So if you used to like French hotel breakfasts, or I'm just yet to see what do they offer in the hotel that I'm booked in for tonight. Is a 4-star hotel apparently, so I'm yet to see what do they give you in a proper hotel. But in this one, the breakfast, if you go somewhere like this and you have to pay for a breakfast, you might as well fuck it, not pay for it and just eat somewhere outside, because you're not going to enjoy it. It's a first thing, and then you're not going to fill yourself up. That's another. And the other gripe that I have with them is they don't really speak any English. It's not that they speak very little English, they don't speak any English. So they understand booking, and that's about it. And booking and how many nights, that's what they understand in English. The rest, today to actually cancel the booking, I was trying to talk to them in the reception with the translator, but it didn't work, because it didn't translate the full sentences for some reason, and just like a fucking pain if you want to say 50 words and spell it word by word. It does not work. So we had to resort to calling booking.com, which I made the booking through, and they had to call them up, the Spanish speaking person, and sort this out. So I spent like probably an hour on the phone this morning just to cancel the booking. Well, not even a cancel, to change them. So it's one of those things. It's good if you know some Spanish, because it will be very helpful here. There's no one literally speak any English. It's not like you go on Canary Islands and then basically everyone is speaking English. It's very hard to find a person that is not. In here there's literally no English whatsoever. So that's one other thing to have in mind. If you need some help, or if you need anything, change anything or ask anything, you probably won't get an answer unless you can do some basic Spanish at least. It is a bit strange actually, because there's a lot of tourists in here. It's a very touristy place, so I'm sure they must have lots of breeze coming here. I suppose they're not bothered. Just hoping the big hotel is going to be slightly better, plus it's a bigger city, so maybe. Well, it's kind of my fault. I'm coming to Spain not knowing any Spanish, so I can only blame myself, not them. They shouldn't be the one to know the language, I should be one. It just would be nice if they would be helpful a little bit more. Oh, they're very helpful. No, don't get me wrong. They're very, very nice people. It's just very hard to communicate. They're very friendly. They're very helpful. Even though probably didn't like very much that I'm changing from 3 days to 1. They never showed it at any point. They were really, really friendly and understanding. So no penalties, no cancellation fees, nothing. So that's very kind of them, because they didn't really have to do it. I booked for 3 days, and they could say, they could at least charge me for 1 more night, because they would say, we had this room booked for tonight by you, we couldn't sell it to anyone else, it's now too late to sell it, and yeah, you need to pay another extra night. And I would happily do it anyway, not to get wet, but thankfully they haven't charged me anything apart of 1 night that I was staying. So all in all, very, very good experience. not so fast as well. Again, 12 o'clock. I'll just need to do some pictures that I missed yesterday, and maybe find a different route to Santander from there, rather than going back to here and then through the mountain roads, the ones that I've done coming here. Maybe there is another way around the other mountain that will work. So that's the plan for today. Tomorrow rain, so tomorrow we sitting low. Yeah, it's definitely these roads highlights of the trip, so it was worth coming here for these roads. I don't regret going through France. It's an experience. You get to find out what's what and if it's any good and all that kind of crap. So France, not so much, not so great. The roads, some okay, some shit, but basically it was very boring. However you look at it, even if the roads were great, it was very, very boring. It was very flat and yeah, nothing really interesting to see, just fields. A small bit through the nice bit through the forest, and that's about it. There's not really the other side of France. When you go into Switzerland, yeah, that's a nicer part of France. It's really, you can really enjoy it. This side not so much, just basically fields. Plus it was cloudy most of the time and grey and just sad. I need some petrol. There is a bigger petrol station on the way out. Yeah, so all in all, very nice place. Very nice place, but very Spanish. Don't get much English in here. So be prepared to learn some basic Spanish if you want to come here and really enjoy it. Otherwise you might find yourself a bit of difficult situation when you're trying to say, hi, hello, I'm here for one night for a booking or whatever, and they, oh, okay. Booking? Ah, booking! And it's really funny as well, because you speak to them in I'm going this way, see, is it? I think I'm going, no, I'm going this way, sorry. Is it? Shit, I don't remember. I think it was the other way. I think it was the other way. Yeah, definitely not here. Bollocks. Anyhow, there is a petrol station somewhere here. I think there was one anyway, it's very close from here, so I don't really need to use this one. Let's just turn around. Oh yeah, this one, N621, Puerto San Glorio. Now we're on the right route. Petrol station would be nice. My TomTom doesn't know where we are, so it doesn't matter. Actually, once you're here, you don't really need a TomTom, because the There's just very few roads around, and you can easily look on the map and just figure your way out. Because it's so many mountains that there's just a few roads that you can go on to. Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I found out what the problem is with the seat in this bike. It is too narrow, so because you need to sit quite close to the tank to have like proper control over it. If you sit far back, it just doesn't feel right. So once you're sitting in the place that you're supposed to sit, the seat is too narrow, and it just basically goes, the edges go the same way as your bones in a bum. So you basically putting a lot of stress and pressure on it, and that's why it's so uncomfy. If it would be wider, like when you sit all the way back, it doesn't feel right when you're on the bike, but it's just so comfy because the seat itself is quite soft. So there's nothing wrong in terms of the padding. It is just a badly designed seat altogether. Padding is absolutely fine. It is quite soft, it soaks up the bump, and it's not hard. You can feel that it's a comfy seat. The only problem is it's a badly shaped seat. So for the next bigger trip, definitely sergeant seat or something along this line, because it would be so much easier. I think it's the only problem really with this bike. The other issue is could have a bit of more top end, because 6000 revs it just runs out of puff. There's no point of redlining it because there's nothing there. Theoretically the red line is 9500 revs, but from 6 up you don't just get anything, so you might as well change the gear at 6 if you want to go faster. So apart of the top end that could be better and the seat, it's a fairly perfect bike. I'm even used to the suspension now. At first I kind of hated it because it didn't like give me any confidence, and it was pretty scary, especially diving in on the braking. But it's just something you get used to. You just start learning how to deal with it. So I can go pretty quick on this bike now and still feel fairly safe. Obviously it's not a sports bike, so you will never get the same buzz as riding an R1 or something. Jigs are probably a little bit better because more low end and top and mid-range power than an R1, at least the one that I had. But anyhow, it's just on a sports bike, the top end is just really breathtaking. So you won't get this on this bike, but for touring, it's more than good enough. It's not perfect, but it's very close to perfect. I'm just thinking, for the amount of money you can get this bike for, it's about between 3.5 and 4 grand, more or less, for a decent example. I don't think you can get much better than that. CBF 1000 is a bit more expensive, plus never tried one. Looks a little bit nicer maybe. But I'm not sure if it's so much fun to drive, because I don't think it's got that much torque. This just pulls like it's rain. 3000 revs, You open the throttle, doesn't matter what gear you are on, and it just boom goes. The only problem is it goes to 6,000 revs and then I cannot do it anymore. But mind you, on second gear, I think. Right now I was on, yeah, I think it's second gear. So 6,000 revs is 90 kilometers per hour. So not that you're going slow. I'm going to overtake you, sorry my friend. I know it's not very kind of me because it's a city, but I've done it gently. Oh shit, now which way we going? La Vega? Yeah, I think N621, yeah. So beautiful today. Yesterday was so cloudy, and today it's nice and sunny. It's fairly warm as well. I wouldn't say it's hot, but much nicer than yesterday. Actually yesterday, somewhere around the lower parts, not in the mountains, it was about 19. Higher up was about 14, plus the other place really high up that we went through. It must have been much colder because there was still snow on the side of the road. So if that didn't melt, it means did not have the time to do it. It's probably not warm enough. I wonder where is a petrol station somewhere. I'm still alright for a few miles. That's 184. But it would be good to fill up a little bit because these mountain roads, they two disadvantages is one, there is not a lot of petrol around, and secondly you drink a lot of petrol. I think when it was Algoria, that's where the petrol was. 16 miles. Must be somewhere. Today I'm not in a mood to riding as fast, I don't know why. Just a little bit worn off. I think it's the amount of miles I'll get to you eventually. Yesterday all day in these kind of roads takes a lot of work. See, it's no problem, even pulling up the hill you don't really have to shift it too low. It just goes. It just goes. Yeah, I've been here yesterday, I remember this shitty, dirty bend and a shit on the road. If you think about this, you can hop on the ferry and just be basically here in a matter of a day with no really effort whatsoever. You just hop on the ferry and enjoy the ride. It's like a cruise ferry, so I think there's some shop, swimming pool, and basically all in all the nice kind of ship. We're going to find out today. And you don't have to go through riding whole France like I did. you can have a lot of good time in here. I think for me the biggest problem is I'm too tired after France, too tired after this seat and doing so many miles. I still enjoy it, but I know I could enjoy it even more if I would be fresh like a daisy, straight from the ferry, no pains, no aches. Ooh, there is a lorry coming. Keep to your lane. Good that these roads are too small for like big lorries. Nothing behind me, nothing. And that is where this guy yesterday sat. Just beautiful. This is just beautiful. I wonder how it have to be living in a place like that. Like there's some houses there, just basically in the middle of the mountain. Not much going on in here. What do you do? What does your day look like? Like from someone coming, living all my life in the big cities, or most of my life, well, half of my life in Warsaw, almost another half in London. It's literally very difficult to comprehend what it must be like without possibility to order a takeaway or go to the shop or like fancy a drink or just whatever, the stuff that you don't really think about. Probably they don't have the internet here, or if they have, it might be really shite. So it's going to be interesting. I would like to see for a couple of weeks or so, but not come for a holiday, just try to live the life that these people do the everyday stuff. What do they do? How do they work? How they make their money? What are their responsibilities in here? What's going on if they want to go shopping? What if they're sick and they need a hospital or something? Yeah, it's a very beautiful place, but it must be very tough life. It's good fun to just come for a blast. Whoa, that was very tight. But it's probably quite a different experience living here 24/7. Although going to the shops and back, it is an adventure in itself. I can't really remember the petrol station. Was there one somewhere here? I hope there was, otherwise I'm screwed. my ass needs to recover for longer. It's alright, you have a night break. When you first sit on the bike it's alright, but now just starting to feel it again. It's obviously nowhere near as bad as it was yesterday, because yesterday it was just painful to sit. Just like being tortured. But now I can still feel it. It's not fine. Some pictures here. I think this deserves the picture, but the problem is it's not really a good spot to stop in here, because it's bend after bend after bend. If someone is going hot through the bend, because the best place would be somewhere here, so you can do the picture there and do the picture there. But then what if someone is just going very ambitiously? I'm actually hot. I think I might need to pull up and just take the jumper off. It must be really warm today, because yesterday was really chilly. Yesterday I was riding and I wasn't cold, but I was okay, and now I'm almost sweating, which is a bit of a surprise. I think with some places we can do the photos from the movie, from the video, because it's way too difficult to stop. I definitely want to do some pictures where the water is. That was amazing. Amazing photo opportunities were there. Went to San Glorious 7. Let's just hope they've got a petrol station there. I cannot really remember. They must have a petrol station, what? Otherwise what? People just go to Potes to get the petrol all the way? It would be ridiculous. You go for a petrol and by the time you're back you've got half tank gone.